So this card is can be used in a cafeteria. This is our cafeteria, and there is a small shop, kiosk shop, and you can use it for purchasing goods here. There's a register there, so that you can use it. In the library, it is used for the gate control system. So anyone knows that when you are in the libraries and how long did you spend. Also, you can use that for library card to check out your books. See, there's the reader here, and he put it there, and his account is on the computer, and just on one click, you can lend some books. So borrow some books. And also in the cafeteria, people can use that for purchasing food. Like this is quite easy. You don't have to look for small changes, and the lady at the counter doesn't have to look for changes as well. So this is the case that we have in Matsuyama, and this is a case that is in Nuis. That students come into the class and put their fingers on readers, and the attendance is recorded like this. They are quite comfortable with these technologies somehow. Like this. Well, the fingerprint recognition system is not as versatile as RFID, but it's more scary to me. Then we came up with a question, whether they are afraid of using these biometrics or using this. In my opinion, the versatility of this RFID has a flip side, which is larger than using biometric thing. But in a general opinion, when we talk about this with students, they are afraid of using these patterns, things. These things, they have everywhere in their lives. So they are accustomed to look at the usages. But this case is a little bit rare to look at. But if we think about these, I think these and those are both privacy sensitive technologies. But how we can see whether the difference in the acceptance of these technologies. And I came up with an idea when I observed someone is using this card when report the attendance. Someone is using this side up, and someone is using this side up. So I thought some students are keen in hiding their identity, and probably keen in concealing their identity. But how and how many? So I wanted to make a comparison between the use of these and this. Peter Dell at the Curtin University of Technology is going to present a comparison like this, which I will touch upon later, says that privacy-sensitive technologies like this is something when technologies, which could be any technologies, but particularly ICTs, have the potential compromise the privacy. We term them potentially privacy-invading technologies. So these and those, I think, are the PPITs or privacy-sensitive technologies. And I'd like to look at the difference. So does personality matter or does experience matter? Like they may be well accepted because they are quite common that you can see anywhere. Or does education or knowledge, the technological knowledge, or confidence matter? So in the case of our university, I was surveyed with mainly business students, some economics students, but not technology students or IS students. But NUIS, all of them are IS students. So are there any difference in education? And there is a general examination about the scale of IT level, which is called IT Passport, which is conducted by the quasi-government organization of Japan, IT Passport examination. So we used that score too. Then we came up with the personality measurement. There is a standard measurement adopted in Japan, which is invented or introduced by Dr. Goldberg in Oregon University. That's categorized personal traits into 5. The ocean, they call it, open and conscientious and extroverted and agreeable and neurotic. And Murakami adopted this Goldberg's scale into Japanese, and there is a well-accepted personality trait classification in 5 in Japan, and probably it should be compatible to internationally. So the first survey we made was to look at whether extroversion is relating to the acceptance of technology, which is failed actually. So we did another survey which include all the 5 traits and what would affect on the technology acceptance of those students. I will skip this video. This is a video that we show to our students because in our university, the students do not know how to use these finger wave things. In their university, in NUIS, they don't have the idea of using these. So we showed this video for both of the students and made a survey. Survey result. This is a chart that is converted from the table which is appearing in the paper. It has a 3 maximum 3, so that the mean is 1.5. If the score exceeds 1.5, it means there is a skewness towards the answer. So I'm sorry. Yes, 1.5, and because these are the questions that if you answer 1, it means yes, and if you answer 2, that means no to those questions. That means there is the mean of 1.5, which is there's no skewness. And also, there's a raw score of IT passport examination here. And if you look at this chart, it says there's some question that indicates there are some tendencies that students answer no, like this and this one. Also, there was a comparison between MU and NUS, and if you look at this chart, and the crimson color is the NUS students and the blue one is MU. So apparently NUS students is better in performance of IT passport examination like this. And also, but for the hours of using mobile internet per day, somehow MU student is longer users of internet. But for the PC users, new students are using longer hours. And also, we ask about the necessity of checking attendance in classes. The MU students strongly agree. And the interesting thing is, in both universities, when we ask about whether you are good at ICT, very little numbers. In this chart, the numbers are indicated in percentages, so very, very little percentage of students think that they are good at ICT and sort of things. And in various trades, we picked up neurotic trade because the balance between those who are very neurotic and those who are not very neurotic is kind of balanced. It could be taking agreeableness. Actually, we made statistical analysis in agreeableness, and we could get only one or two significant results. So we stick on the neurotic trait to look deeper. So these are the balanced score. The table 4 of our paper is quite complicated, but it is interesting because it does give us, well, I'm sorry about too small. I thought we could have a printed version in hand, but the way we constructed this table is on the neurotic high is this side, and on the neurotic low is this side, and it made a comparison. And significantly meaningful is only number 9. What do you use? The NFI wants to use the NFC ID system, that is RFID, had difference, significant difference between those who are neurotic and non-neurotic. So there's some chart, and I will conclude also. This is table 5. So table 5 is more neurotic person or less neurotic person made a comparison. And running out of time, just say to the conclusion. As long as we look at the neurotic students, the experience matters when accepting new tokens, which is very, very common idea, and we expected that. And also, there is a statistical difference when cross-examined about the neurotic high and low. The question of want to use any of the NFC system, this one, there was a difference between neurotic high person and low person. So there seems to have some evidence that there is an existence of or doubts that personality traits matters in accepting new technologies. But this is only the beginning, and I would welcome comments and suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know how you feel about maybe copying all that. And put a quick question to Shiro, and then you can catch up with them at Uber.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that Japanese students, on average, have less concerns about privacy than students elsewhere. Within the Japanese culture and within the students that you looked at, did any of them speak openly about a concern about privacy, or do you think it was something else that was getting them maybe unwilling to use the system?
Well, privacy in general, I made a presentation. In that presentation, I talk about privacy as a adoption from Western idea and which is not embedded in the culture yet, so that they are concerned with concealing their secret, but which is not really considered as privacy. So, for example, if you have a particular history about illness or something, you talk about the history, but it is not as a part of privacy. So privacy is something which is here, but it is not embedded in the culture itself. So it is, we spells like privacy, like something like that. So there's no Japanese own characters which is equivalent to privacy. We use katakana character because we don't have the idea. Just import it.
Thank you so much. And if anyone wants to catch up with Shiro at the BB bar, do so, or perhaps go out and have a coffee.
Sure.
Start very soon, right? The plane's right there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.